let me tell you a story. This one's called The Silver, the Plat and the Rat. Now, there was this geezer, right? Little YouTube fella, liked to make videos and that. He had this theory, widely accepted one, that if you're in a lobby with a bunch of cunts that are better than you, you're going to play better. And if you're in a match with a bunch of cunts that are worse, well. Anyway, this rat bloke, he weren't your average sort. No. He was a bit of a... he liked to experiment. One day, he's thinking to himself, hold on, this playing up and down at a lobby lark, I wonder how far that shit really sails. Tells you what, I'll have to bloody find out for myself, won't I? So what does he do? He finds himself a right range of characters. He goes hunting up, down, left, right, inside out, all about the place. You name it, he went there. He looked for what felt like a fucking age, and in the end, he found his guinea pigs. A silver 3 and a platinum 3. Well, with all the pieces in place, he wastes no time and takes the boys into some good old-fashioned 3v3s. His wacky theory that I suppose he was trying to prove, or disprove, was the idea that maybe they'd find a happy medium. He was hoping that they'd each mutually adapt to one another on the fly. So, it starts out a bit shaky, but not as rough and tumble as you'd think. The silver lad starts out by thinking he needs to play goalie. Now, whether that's how silvers do things down there, or if it's a bit of the old jelly legs, I'm not too sure of that. What I do know is how the rat decided to tackle it. I don't mean he actually tackled his teammates, no. What he thought to do to get the ball rolling, so to speak, was to try playing the back post. Oh, reliable, a tried and tested method. He saw it got the lad moving about half the time, nothing more than a coincidence, he tells himself. But before the rat can even start to think of another way to solve the problem, the little silver lad goes and starts moving upfield all by himself. Fuck, the cunt even started to bloody rotate, sorta. That's when it all kicked off, didn't it? That's when they pulled themselves up by the bootstraps and dug right in. It gave them some kind of defence, and of course, as you know, my son, that's where the boys become men and the games are won. This is where things start to get juicy, right? After the little silver lad leaves them there, they found themselves in a pretty fucking odd formation. But no word of a lie, it was blinding, mate. The goals started coming in left, right and centre. The ball didn't really leave the ground all that much, but as my old mum used to say, a ball on the ground's worth 10 in the air. This cracking formation that the boys fell into actually turned out to be 3. Not 1, but 3. The Goldilocks of having a kick about with pretend cars. The 3 different formations that these fine gentlemen found themselves in again and again and again, well, it all came down to who had the ball, really. You had the main one when the platinum took the thing and ran it up the side, along the wall or at the base of it. That'd see the silver spectacle right up his arsehole, only to break away at the last second to try and get some sort of centre, if the plat lad could pull it off, that is. The rat would pretty much keep to his own half and stay on the opposite side of the field, ready with a mop and bucket, if you know what I mean. The second formation, nah, that was something, wasn't it? That was a real beauty when it worked. The silver 3, bless him, he'd take the ball all the way up in his zone and try to solo it. Whether or not that was a playstyle choice or he just didn't know how to pass the people of a higher rank, I couldn't tell you. Of course, his Platinum 3 teammate knew that successful solo play, while entirely possible, wasn't always going to come out cushy, so he followed up, didn't he? Personally, I still think he was a bit too close to the ball, but who am I to judge, eh? The rat, in all his infinite wisdom, once again saw this best handled with a strong and steady defence. Much like the first formation, he'd stay back, a bit more central, but still keeping to his own half, rarely even leaving it, to be honest. The other way they'd take care of business was when the rat was on the ball. He weren't exactly what you'd call a selfish player. He was always looking for a pass, him. Bless him though, he couldn't always find one, could he? Well, when he was on the ball, it was pretty much always the Plat fellow who took on the mantle of being second man. Though the Plat didn't always get the goal, he sure as fucking shit did keep them on their toes. He kept the pressure up more than anything, and that would quite often see the Silver Boy come and clean up after the cunts. Tell a lie, they actually had a secret fourth formation. I say secret because it weren't all that common, nor was it even known to them half the time. This magical extra formation came from the rotation being cut. The Rat was the only one who really did that. I'm not terribly sure whether that's because the other boys didn't know how or when to cut, but I can tell you now that they didn't really do it. Not at all, as it goes. The Rat, using that big old brain of his, would notice the odd opportune moment to dive back in and take the bloody ball from the enemy. Oftentimes on their adventures it would be the Plat cunt who'd notice and start pushing up, all the way on the other side of the pitch. The third man, normally the Silver, was left out of these ones due to the fact that he was going back to get some boost and reset himself. All in all, they seemed to be unfucking stoppable. Giants, juggernauts, the kings of the court. I hear that they went on a little spree totalling up to 10 matches with a flawless record. 10 games, 10 wins. A couple of shaky starts here and there, but they always came out on top. Rumour has it that they almost lost one. I think it came down to the overtime. Yeah, that was it. They had a 2-2 overtime that saw high amounts of pressure coming from the little Silver lad and the big Plat lad, which ended up with the Rat going and scoring a blinder. So, now you know the story of the Silver, the Plat and the Rat, an unlikely team of some top dog hard as nails bastards. Maybe I've inspired you. Maybe you don't even believe me. Who knows? Hopefully though, you learned a little lesson here, son. Sometimes a little faith and encouragement can go a very long way. Peace.